All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on YouTube. We are Dayton Slam on YouTube. If you want to tell your friends to listen in on the show, but we are getting ready to start the open mic. Open mic, you get 2 poems of reasonable length. Ladies and gentlemen, your hosts for the first half of the night, because I'm tired of talking for the last 4 goddamn months. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan.
Thank you, Link. Oh, right, I have to continue talking. You're not hosting this thing anymore.
No, fuck you.
Buy me dinner first.
Maybe.
All right, as Link said, 2 poems of a reasonable length or 1 poem of an unreasonable length. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We haven't done this in a while. If you were not here earlier, there is a brown Skechers box on the stage. It has rubber latex gloves in it. We ask that when you come up to the microphone, you put one over the microphone. And then when you are done, you remove it. You can take it home with you. You can throw it in the trash can. You can fill it up with water and throw it at someone you don't like when you get home. We don't really care. We just ask that you put the glove on the microphone, please. Anything?
So many jokes, so little time.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Anything else that we need to remind them of? Is a general housekeeping type thing for this?
We're taking pictures on Instagram.
We're taking pictures on Instagram. As Link said, we are streaming this on YouTube. If you do not want to appear on YouTube or you do not want your picture taken, just let Link or myself know before you start reading, and we will get you taken care of.
Oh, and if you show up late and want to read, come talk.
And if you've shown up after the initial sign-up period and you still want to read, come talk to Link.
And come pay me.
You can also pay him $2. It's $2. We take cash. We take all major credit cards.
Yes.
We do not take Diners Club card. No one here is old enough to know what Diners. Yeah. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal.
And a partridge in
Testing.
Does someone else have a microphone or what?
Oh, that was me. My bad.
It's the voice from
I
beyond.
was trying to see if it worked. My bad. I'm gonna put it down now.
It's our conscience. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet storm.
My conscience.
Whoops.
Before we call the first poet up, can everybody hear us okay? All right. If you're thirsty, there are beverages inside. If you are hungry, there is pizza inside. There is also a food truck down there. I believe it is called Sprouting Dreams. If I got that wrong, I apologize.
Yes,
My eyesight is not what it was 4 months ago.
Mine's fun.
Who to call? There's so many.
I think.
Who do you think we should call up first, Link?
I think we should call that one.
All right. Put your hands together for the first poet of our triumphant return of 2021. No pressure. Colton!
You. Me? Yeah.
Why am I first? You died.
Random number generator.
Do you not want to go first?
Yeah, if you don't want to go first, we can make some.
Go first.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
I just have to. Can I have assistance with the glove?
Yes. Yes, I can do that for you.
I literally cannot do anything. This is the first time I've ever. Did I get a dog? Like I did get a dog. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm so sorry.
You are welcome. You can just grab it. Hold off on your.
Okay. Hello. So this first one is untitled shit.
Untitled shit.
It's also new shit, which is the first new shit I've written in a really long time. Modern Heartbreak is read at 5:10 p.m. when it's 3:27 a.m. Unfollowed, unliked, unsubscribed. Netflix and the chill that hasn't left your spine.
DoorDash every day because you can't scrape yourself out of bed long enough to search your cabinets for sustenance. Modern heartbreak is them always popping up first on your Instagram with their new lover. Apparitions of your worst fears close enough it feels as if they're under your covers. Blocked, unblocked, and blocked again. Wanting to do absolutely nothing other than text them. Modern heartbreak is blank snaps to keep the streak, and even though you know that's all it's gonna be, the notification pops up and your heart gets weak. Re-downloading Tinder for the third time this week. Going on dates to bandage the loneliness and discovering two is the loneliest number you've ever known. Checking every social media app in hopes of seeing them because even if it's a brief snapshot of their life without you, it's better than not having them at all. Modern heartbreak is having 3,000 followers and not a single person to message. An empty apartment that everyone was so excited to see. It's quiet. It's deafening silence. Thank you. So I'm gonna try really hard to remember all of this. It's been a long time since I've performed this piece, but this is called It. You want to be Peter Pan. You want to be that fairy dusted disaster that slays pirates and conquers Hook because that's what strong boys do. But they gave you a dress and a name to match and a lot of pink stuff you would never play with. You love action figures just as much as you love dolls. Yeah, you love dolls, don't lie. You don't walk like a lady, though. I mean, come on, you flunked ballet class. You can't go. It's boys only. Don't wear swimming trunks, wear a bathing suit. You are too old to be a tomboy. Grow up. You can't fly, and you never will. And even on days when you're wearing the perfect clothes, people will stare at you and say, "Is that a boy or a girl?" And you smile to yourself because you're thinking, maybe today I just might pass. But then you see the look in their eyes as they register. No facial hair, no knot in your throat, no bulge in your pants. And they say it again, louder, tauntingly. "Is that a boy or a girl?" And this time they know. And they just want to see you squirm. And you do. And they snicker. And they give you this look that says, you're not human here. You're stuck. In the body you've got and the gender you don't. There's no fairy dust, no flying away, no childhood dreams. You're doing the best that you can. You rock your indecisive parts proudly, but there are days when you can be shattered by a quick tongue. Days when men will argue about the lines of your body until one of them says, "Yo, it's got tits." It. Because you're not worthy of any other title. Days when girls will hate you for what you are, whatever you are not human here. But I've got tits. So on the day that he said to me, "I don't care if you're gay, I'd still fuck the shit out of you," I should have been willing, right? But I wasn't. So I walked away faster, trying to escape his leering face, the look of malice in his eyes I've seen in so many other men. I'll fuck you straight, girl. I don't know how much of a girl I am, but in that moment, I wish I had the knuckle strength of men. But I don't. So I left my pride in his throat. I would try to glue myself back together for tomorrow because there are always going to be days like this. Days that you have to carry your somber heart like a coffin. Days when you pass until your voice slips. And you let the words fall from your mouth carried by a feminine tone. And they know again. Know that you're not a him or a her, but something in between, not human to them. What an abomination. What a monster. Why can't you be normal with your dress, your boyfriend, your virginity? They want to paint you the color of smashed hymens. Want you to know that naked, you'll always be soft like a woman. Naked, you'll always have the parts of a woman. You, it, your telltale breasts will never be one of those strong boys. Kid, you are far from Peter Pan. But you got to learn to hold your back like a flagpole. It's all you've got out there. There's no Neverland. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Colton! All right. In deciding who should come up next, we had several options, and I considered all of them before arriving that I think that. All right, someone we haven't heard from in quite a few months.
Quite a few.
Quite a few. Y'all put your hands together for Quiet Storm!
You're coming from inside.
Also, if throughout the evening you find yourself getting chilly, you'll notice there is a roaring fire going here in the middle of the patio area. Please help yourself. Do not try and jump over the fire. It never ends well. I've seen Reddit videos.
He also knows from firsthand experience.
Shut up!
If you want to read in the open mic, come see me. If you haven't yet paid the door charge, come see me. Give it up again for the Quiet Storm!
Are you put on the glove?
She's
good. It was good.
Just slip it over.
I didn't pay attention to the glove instructions. It's okay. Got
There
it.
you go.
There we go. Don't be weird. I forgot. It was so long ago. Sorry, it took a minute to get up here. I was in the middle of eating. Jonathan has impeccable timing. It's okay. It's all right. Let's see. This is titled Full of Love and Broken Mirrors. You do not know this piece, actually, but that's fine. Overexertion is a slow suicide, a melancholy drought, how piercing the energy leaves the body. Seeps as poison through the veins. Today, all I can give is the bare minimum. Small burst of movement. Today, I am running off fumes. I cannot pretend on this day. This day is dedicated to the truth, the kind, and the harsh. There is a freedom in giving yourself space to be authentic. This is not to say I pretend every other day. This is to say I am finally learning how to acknowledge my emotions, let them out from behind this locked door I've created. Lately, this journey has showed me a lot of broken mirrors. Mirrors with no symmetry to them whatsoever, which is to say I have never been able to look my reflection directly in the eyes, see this body and accept all its flaws and still deem it worthy. This body is full of love. This body is love. This body is not the image of perfection. This body is the image of real. Today, all I can give you are these words. The rest of me, I am keeping for myself. That's a piece. This piece is called Hot Wheel Silhouettes and Absorption. Little black girl forced to dress up for Sunday service, just to worship a white God, speak in a different tongue that was not her own. This is how religion became a gag reflex in the back of her throat. How she sought out a savior and imaginary friends in some form of escape on days in the dry heat of Texas. She wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty. She liked to beat the boys and anything she could, that if they could do it, well, she for damn sure could too. This was her first time she had put her faith in gravity, and it failed her. She broke her arm in kindergarten because she was trying to hang off the monkey bars with one arm, like she saw the boy next to her do. She didn't cry once. In fact, the teachers didn't even know her arm was broken until her mother picked her up from school that afternoon. They insisted that they didn't know because she did not complain. This is probably the first experience she had in her own power to absorb pain. A tomboy who was forced to showcase girly tendencies for Sunday service, just to worship a white God, speak in a different tongue that was not her own. School uniforms, were her breakaway from the many rules of the church. Her mother would let her wear pants and shorts and skirts. She didn't have to worry about the rules of the church. This was her first experience in defying social norms. Collecting Hot Wheels was her favorite hobby as a child. She had a small suitcase full. She didn't quite care about the make or model. She was more into the colorway and the silhouette. And if they sped full force out the makeshift starting gates of the what? Rewind. I'm gonna rewind because I can't read. My bad. And if they sped full force out of the makeshift starting gates down that incline of a driveway she had, then they were a winner in her eyes. The second time she put her faith in gravity and it failed her, she had a trampoline in the backyard that her and her brother would jump on for hours. Her and her father were testing their bodies with gravity and the trust they had in the springs that held the trampoline together. She had given into faith a little too much as she sprung into the air and free fell onto the trampoline, just to be met with her father's knee crashing into the middle of her back. After a few hours of rest and laying in one position to prevent the pain from starting again, she learned how to move through the pain until it faded away. Her absorption of pain was growing. Nowadays, she has mastered different levels of absorption. Little black girl forced to dress up for Sunday service, just to worship a white God, speak in a different tongue that was not her own. Nowadays, she is still navigating through the phantom and the real pain, still learning what it is to absorb and what to release. That's a piece.
Woo! All right, give it up one more time for Quiet Storm. Also, if you're thinking that a slice of pizza sounds good, now's the time to order it. Last call on pizza, y'all. Am I crazy, or is this microphone or is this speaker throwing some feedback every once in a while? Okay, I wanted to be sure that I wasn't losing my mind about that specifically. Also, big hello to our 2 online viewers. If you're watching on YouTube and hanging out here, that's kind of cool, but it's also kind of weird.
Is the audio working?
I don't know.
Okay, we're assuming.
All right, without further ado, we're going to call our next poet in the open mic up. Y'all put your hands together for D. Cole Jr. Okay.
Can y'all hear me good?
Yep.
How about now? Can y'all hear me good now?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all gonna have to forgive me a little bit. I'm a little bit shaky. This is my first
It's okay,
time doing
poet.
it. The wicked souls will send you to your demise. The only time they want to see you up is if they look in the sky. How many more of my brothers must die? All because the top gun send this one out to fry. Decipher evil in their eyes. Eliminating the majority is the ultimate prize. Can care less if your little ones start to cry, because sooner than later their heads become bullseyes. Heat seekers will wipe tears from their eyes. Never know when it's going to be your last ride. Lost souls committing crime, the streets cosign. Emotions run free because there's nowhere to confide. Being heads to collide, heading on a different ride. Except this one's on a downward spiral. The only way out is suicide. Jump ship into the water where they left us to die. They didn't know we overcome our struggle and make it out alive. The rabbits got the guns, now the pigs gonna fry. I swear I wear my badge of honor to the day I resign. Leaving the juvenile free for change when they see me in the sky. Keep pushing forward, helping the blind open their eyes. Showing them there's a war in the perfect place where they reside. The guilty always gonna hide. Accountability is their weakest trait, so you know they gonna lie. False hopes and dreams leading the blind. The ones that's able to awaken their third eye will fly. For the ones that keep sleeping in massive bed will never try. This is a letter sent out to my people. This is do or die. Growing older gives you ability to help you realize the fake smiles with hidden agendas that make you their bullseye. Woo! I had another one, get to it.
If you want, you can move the mic up.
How you doing? Corrupt. The system got my mind stuck on the game of the player, got no change so they can get less than 2 fucks. Teaching the youth how to sell their soul in measurement cups. You gotta understand you'll never be the man that lets you cook that rock up. Or become the man with jams and fans. I'm talking about the mic rocker. Plotting on the rules is how you get your body shot up. Using every type of violence trying to keep my people silent. But the day they come from my line is aimed at the top shot up. Switch it up. Aim at the sky limit. The guy's thunderstruck. Turn the almighty against themselves and watch himself destruct. Fools who don't know what to do when they lose control of the goons. I grew up a good kid, always try to follow the rules. My mind clicked. How you gonna follow rules that's set against you? Raised in the church where you heard the clack-a-lack and the spoons. My love for my people reaches to beyond colliding with Neptune. Every night the red and blue perform under the light of the moon. Visualizes a game, bullets ready to consume. But searching for my hope and freedom found it in the courtroom. When lying motherfuckers trying to decide my doom. Karma's a bitch. One day the prison's gonna run out of room. Keep testing us, you motherfuckers. You end up hearing that final boom.
Yeah.
Keep it going for D. Cole Jr. Real quick before we get our next poet up here, give it up for Yellow Cab Tavern and Pizza Bandit, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, and next up to the mic, put your hands together for Corey. Woo!
So this is a little bit of a trigger warning. Just wanting to let you guys know. It's sexual assault month. So okay. How was college? Did you get sexually assaulted? It's every girl's dream, right? That's the actual question that my sister asked. If that's actually the case, that's really fucked up. I wasn't wearing anything provocative. I didn't ask for it. Why should my body be objectified? Is where all my secrets lie. After it happened, I felt like I wanted to cry or die, but I chose to cry. Dying will never be the answer because that would mean I gave him all my power. He took away my joy for singing, but his voice will remain ringing in my ear. Never did I ever fear him until that night, but after it happened, we treated it as if it were out of sight, out of mind. As he played the piano, I knew he was good with his fingers. His presence will always linger in my mind and in the nighttime and invade my dreams, how he invaded my privacy, how he got in my mind and how he got inside of me. He still has that part of me. He was only supposed to get a ride from me that night, but he got what he thought was going to be the time of his life. He even told me that it haunts him at night. First thing, he didn't even think that he did anything wrong. Even after what happened, he still had the nerve to ask for his golden ticket back. He thought he had access to that ride, but it was really denied. He didn't have the requirements that he needed to enter, and he thought that I would just let him in with free admission. So he crossed that line without my permission. How dare I say no? I'm a big girl. I'm easy, right? I remember before it even happened, he had the audacity to say, I'm going to get something tonight. Being sexually assaulted was not my dream. It will forever be a part of my nightmare. I thought I forgave you, but I didn't even forgive myself. Took a very long time to even consider getting some help. Sometimes I find that I really don't like myself. What the hell? It's been 4 years. Wow, that time went by so fast. You showed me how not to get close to anyone, how having too much fun with someone could give them the wrong idea. Forgiving me, what does that actually look like? Is it looking in the mirror and not feeling guilty? Is that not having the feeling that I'm still filthy? I was told that I can't forgive others until I forgive myself. How was college?
Man, take your look. Keep it going for Corey, ladies and gentlemen. Couple more poets left of the open mic, and then we're going to jump into the poetry slam. Remember, if you wanted to read in the open mic still, just come over and let me know. We have plenty of room in the open mic tonight. Or if you want to jump into the poetry slam, winner of the slam tonight takes home $100 cash. Second place takes home $50 cash. Third place takes home a good air hug, unless you've already been vaccinated and have your record with me. And then if you choose for a regular hug, you got to throw that all out there. So, all right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause to Andrew Justice.
All right, this one's called Bending the Curvature. It is I, the light in your eyes, forgetting to dress in the fashion of those who sneak in the night. We used to laugh, but recently the stars blink in silence into the rising air. Pushed out of your blackening lungs as every word I hoped and feared will dictate in the leaves our future. Tragedy is woven in the movements of your knuckles, cracking the mysteries of dichotomizing fate. Free will marks a cross section of your decisions into an elementary school's walls, detailing opportunities missed. Your margin of error explains I, the dying light in your eyes, fading thoughtfully in time, trying on the lipstick of our first love gifted to us. And the second one is Separate Phenomenons, a poem in 4 parts. 1. Unstuck, living the distance as a bystander's dream. Ripped caution tape flutters around rusted scaffolding. Your trained eyes peek through life's fissures, interpreting the truth that devours the young. He looks cozy, falling. 2. For the boy, observed deformity is a splinter of the block, one from the flock becoming the only god. Help! Cave in the entrance, worship the block, not the concepts once whittled. Discrete units are swept away, causalities in the tilling of assaulted mind. It is imperative that we keep representations disparate, lest balance lead to comparison, a nature revealed. 3. The bearer of lived experience, doubt the motivation, adrenaline high, deformed death drive, part of the ride, wind resistant slaps. Will, he shouts, quills in his arms. 4. From the fall, Will pushed him through life directionless except for a dream to contemplate an aesthetic immersion in the idea of you he was too cowardly to explore.
Give it up one more time for Andrew Justice! And keep it going. Coming up next to the mic, Jim Rock! Those are both really, Andrew Justice and Jim Rock. Those are both really cool names.
Do you know where you can get shots? Keep the applause going for Jim Rock. He's not here yet.
Sorry.
So I would usually just play my guitar on this song, but I figure I'd just sing it instead. Woo! Well, we met on the internet, and everything was going just fine. Well, you sent me smileys, and I sent you smileys. It was only a matter of time. So you gave me your telephone number, and you said that you didn't want kids. And I told you I liked your big fat boobies, and you were so happy I did. And we texted each other about work. We texted each other about friends. We texted for 25 minutes about your ex and his brand new girlfriend. But darling, no expectations are held in my heart. But with you, I felt something special right from the start. So I said, have a dick pic, have a dick pic, have a dick pic. I'm sure you've never seen mine. Well, it may not be big, but at least it looks weird. And I'm drunk on this apple moonshine. Well, the dick pic is an enigma. It's very hard to understand. It's an acquired taste. Sorry. I fucked that up, y'all. I'm sorry. It's hard without the guitar. Well, the dick pic is an enigma. It's very hard to understand. And that's why they call it an enigma. That's what an enigma is, man. Well, I waited for close to 4 hours, and I never got a single reply. So I said, hey, where did you go? I showed you my erection and parts of my thighs. Then she told me she thought I was different and not like all these other guys. And I told her, be honest, can we be for realsies? Is it because I'm circumcised? And then she done told me, I don't think that you really get it. I never asked to see your penis. And I'm sick of this shit. The website and the pricks, and it's my finance you can kiss. Oh, baby, hold on. I can explain. I'm a lonely and horny narcissistic male who doesn't respect women or himself, and my own vanity prevents me from realizing that my primal gesture exposes my true intentions, and my feelings of entitlement lead me to expect an overwhelmed and flattering response. But meanwhile, I'm oblivious to the fact that the pleasure I get from showing you my penis is actually greater than what you experience from seeing it. And I guess that's why I said, have a dick pic, have a dick pic, have a dick pic. On this one, the lighting's just right. Well, it may not have girth, but at least it's crooked. The angle makes it look quite nice. Well, the dick pic is like Ebola. It's a frightening son of a bitch. It's an acquired taste, just like granola. But even granola makes some people sick. So baby, have a dick pic so close up you can't tell the size. Have a dick pic, it's not a hat, I'm circumcised. Have a dick pic, it's the only way my member will rise. Have yourself a dick pic. Thank you.
Keep it going for Jim Rock. Link, I think I get to use your favorite word.
Penultimate!
All right, we're bringing up the, as Link said, penultimate poet of the open mic round this evening. Y'all put your hands together for Melissa!
How long can you make it? Longer than your beard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Melissa!
Woo!
Oh, yep.
Oh,
In the box right there.
in the box. Got it. Okay. Okay. Hi. It's some older stuff.
Oh, shit!
Okay. The title of it is To Live. My mind was hot breath on the window pane of madness, but a shroud over the face of a stranger. Yet I found its madness comforting, because at least I was not yet numb. At least the screams in the back of my head sounded as loud as a storm's alarm when I would step too close to monotony. I thanked God for the bubbling blisters on my fingertips from the scalding touch of greed. For as soon as I could close my eyes and see myself sitting in the same chair doing the same thing, but with emptier and emptier eyes, each passing year, I knew it was time to leave. I knew I simply had no choice. You understand what I'm saying, don't you? That we are not babes to be rocked to sleep, and we must stay rested in order to pay attention. And it is so fucking important to be paying attention. Does it make me mad to not want to go to the doctor's office? To wonder how money's seemingly innocent suggestion helps to dictate my physical well-being? Does it mean I'm crazy when I explain that I feel financially stretched thin and the hammer keeps falling harder and harder instead of less and less? Wasn't this supposed to get easier? Does it make you paranoid to keep all of your money in shoeboxes? To have a bag packed with essentials if you needed to move quickly? What am I saying? That we are someone's children. We were hope. We were something great, something celebrated, something new, something better. We would do better. We would learn. We would learn from the tired looks on our parents' faces and from the richness of their laughter that sounded through the house far too rarely what life really was, what it is, what it can be, what it deserves to be. I'm afraid that the tide is too strong for our knobby knees, but if we look closely, we can see other people standing down the beach, damned and determined to go down with a fight. Because as people see us standing alone but fighting, they leave the desolate beach to join us in the waves. And they are all so glad they did. Happier, fulfilled, alive. What a profound thing to be surrounded by so many people who breathe and are not alive. And what a radical thing to live.
Woo!
Give it up one more time for Melissa, y'all.
Yeah!
Real quick, if you want to watch this, if you want to watch the YouTube recording later on YouTube, we are just Dayton Poetry Slam on YouTube. Dayton Slam on YouTube. I was mistaken. If you search for Dayton Poetry Slam, though, I think you'll find a bunch of videos of us that someone else took a few years ago. Yeah.
So we have our last poet.
Yes, we have our final poet of the open mic round of the evening. Are we going to take a brief intermission, or since we're already outside, would it negate the need for the intermission? Oh, well, why don't we? Do you want to do that before we do the final poet? Or? Okay, all right. We haven't done any of this in quite some time.
Can you tell?
All right.
Damn it, Quiet Storm.
All right, put your hands together for the final poet of the open mic round, Detra! Detra!
Thank you.
You.
Don't forget your the microphone cover.
Where is it at?
In the box. There are a few microphones. There are a couple microphone covers.
We are.
Are we just using gloves?
Yeah.
Or if you want to use one of the microphone condoms, that's fine too.
Okay, the condo. There you go, girl. I'm gonna go with that.
The glove does make poetry feel awfully clean.
Yeah. Well, since I've got it, then let's just go
Oh, yeah.
ahead and
Turning.
put the glove on.
Well,
Well, hold on. Now my thumb thing's not gonna work. Bear with me here. Okay. So I'm Detra, and this is my first time here. So I said, why not? And I wrote this sitting over there. So
Really new shit.
right. So we'll see. Okay, here we go. So when you know, you know. It doesn't take a lot of time to doubt yourself, to wonder if you can or if you will, to imagine if you did or if you could. It doesn't take a lot to think about it. So let's think about it. Think about the dream that you never thought you could or you would. It doesn't take a lot to think about it. A thought is enough to take yourself to places you never think you'd go, to see something you wouldn't let happen. It doesn't take a lot to think about it. Think about the time that you did go to places you never thought you'd go. Then you saw things you knew you would. You knew because you thought about it. You thought about what you wanted to do, imagined what you could do, then you did that. You knew that you could, so you did. You did it when you knew, after you saw it, you believed it, then you did. You did it. What's it going to take for you to do that? One thing that you always knew that you could do. What's stopping you from doing that thing? You know, that thing that makes you stop and take a second look. Take a second look at your soul, your mind, your will, your emotions. They could lie to you, but when you know, you know. After you know, you do. After you know, you show. After you know, you show out. Because when you know, you know.
Yeah!
Give it up one more time for Detra! All right, it is our first time back here since late last year, and also it's National Poetry Month, so we're going to do something we haven't done in quite some time. We're going to have an actual poetry slam, which means y'all get to, 5 lucky people in the crowd get to adjudicate people's poetry performances. If you've never been to a poetry slam before and you think there's no way that I could possibly judge whether or not someone's poetry is good or not, you are exactly the kind of person we need to be a judge because, yeah, what he said. Link will explain more about what judging is, but basically, if you don't like it, you give it a lower score. If you do like it, you give it a higher score. And if someone walks up to you in the parking lot later and says that they teach poetry at a college, and actually the poem you gave was you gave a low score to was a good poem, you could tell them to fuck off. There will be 3 rounds of this, so it'll probably last about another 45 minutes to an hour. So if you've got an early bedtime, you might not want to be a judge. If you're like me and have an early bedtime and are going to lay awake in bed for hours awake anyways, watching Hulu, go ahead and sign up to be a judge. The prizes tonight. Oh, well, first place, I believe, gets $100 cash. Second place gets $50 cash. Third place gets an air hug. I suggested a tip of the hat. Link felt that was too informal, so we went with air hug. Little A, little B. The question was it informal or impersonal? I realized answering a question that no one else could hear on the microphone probably. Big shout out to our 2 online viewers. Remember, if you like us and hit subscribe, you'll get a notification every time we go live.
I haul all this shit for 2 fucking people?
We don't know whether or not they're... You ready? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the host of the first Poetry Slam of 2021, Lee! Who has decided to use that microphone instead of...
Hey, it's got a condom on it.
That's what she said?
So, actually, it was my birthday last weekend. Thank you. And I got a present, actually, that should have been yours, Jonathan. It was a book of 301 dad jokes. And I'm pretty sure you wrote the whole fucking thing.
I would give you my best dad joke, but I don't think you'd give it back to me when you were done with it. Good night, everybody!
Oh, it's one of my favorites, though. You know, can't say that. Hey, 2 guys walked into a bar, the third one ducked. Yes, exactly.
I was
All
saying
right.
2 words.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 poets in the slam tonight, so this should be a lot of fun. Let me go over the ground rules for you. For those of you that have forgotten them, you get 3 minutes and 10 seconds from the time you first engage the audience. So if you got to fuck with the mic, don't say nothing, because I will start your time. If you go over 3 minutes and 10 seconds, there are penalties. If you go over 4 minutes, there are extreme penalties. We have people for that. That will take you out back. No, anyways.
We are out back.
We are out back. Exactly. So, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Don't go over it. No props, no costumes. Keep your clothes on. And I'm looking at you, Letitia.
What? I don't take clothes off. I got skinnier though, so I can't make no promises.
No musical accompaniment unless you can create it with your own body. Exactly. No backup dancers. Sorry. And there we go. Basically, and judges, where are my judges at? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be walking around on this one, shouting a lot tonight. Judges, what I want you to do is I want you to take the poem. I want you to take the way it was given to you. I want you to put it into a blender. I want you to add some ice. I want you to pour some tequila over that shit and pour me out a score between 0 and 10. 1 decimal point. I am an English professor, not a math teacher. I married the accountant for a fucking reason. So, 0 to 10. 0 is ass. A 10 is ass.
If you don't know the difference, Link and I can't really help you. He's married, I'm engaged. Go ask someone else.
I was going to go back to Letitia for the same joke, but that worked.
Yay!
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, those are the basic ground rules. Are we ready to go? Oh, hell no! I have been sitting in my office for this whole time. I've been doing slams on Instagram, for Christ's sakes. You gotta give me a little bit more than that. Are you ready for the slam? All we need to go is we need a clearing poem. We need a sacrificial lamb to come up here and deliver a piece to get the judges ready to go. What? One of us. So I've decided in the issue of fairness, your clearing poem tonight is me. I gotta breathe for this one. I can't use the mask. I gotta breathe for this one.
All right, time's starting.
When somebody requests a poem of yours, I feel it's an obligation that I have to do it. Colton, this one's for you. It's 2:00 in the morning, and 5 of us are standing outside the awning of Denny's. All poets, all tired, and all of us have spent an evening surrounded by the words of each other. We're currently stranded because of a rainstorm that would make Noah head for cover. I couldn't see my car, which was only 25 feet away. During a slight lessening of the rain, 3 decided to run for it, leaving the other 2 to stand there and talk about life. As the rain slowed even more, we headed for our cars, all the time continuing our conversation over poetry, life, and the universe. Suddenly, the silver Volkswagen Bug pulls up next to us with a couple inside. A future yuppie and current preppy is driving, and he's dressed appropriately for his part. Sitting next to him sits a very attractive woman in a gray suit-looking outfit, and the players are now assembled. We're talking, it's raining, they're kissing, things are starting to pick up, both the rain and the couple. My last companion leaves as we finish as a conversation, as a joke, he says that I should throw those 2 a couple of condoms. And I'm not talking Mike condoms. And as I'm moving towards my car, for some unknown reason, I turned around just in time to see 2 of the 3 pieces of that gorgeous skirt suit go flying into the back seat, and the former rider wearing it reverse in the front seat. Want to know the real difference in the sexes? Car fucking. Women will strip almost naked, where a man will just pull down his pants just enough to get the job done and lift the shirt a bit as not to get messy. By the way, it was the skirt that stayed on. They're bouncing, it's raining, so is he. My phone's ringing, and this one's going to go to voicemail because these 2 are getting more excited. Beeps ring out through the night. He won't let her up off of the steering wheel. He keeps leaning forward and hitting her the horn with her body as if to announce to the entire world, we're fucking! We're fucking! We're Oh, baby, I'll love you forever. This time I really, really mean it. Fucking! And apparently this excites her even more because the only thing louder than the beeps are her screams of passion. It's raining, they're spasming. Half of the restaurant has now emptied to watch the show going on. Moving her hair after the last shock. Moving her hair at the end. The look of shock appears as we're all standing there in a half circle, golf clapping. Why is the first thing exhibitionists do is when they're caught is cover up? You've already seen it all. It's raining, he started the call. We're still applauding golf style clapping as I stand there 2:30 in the morning, cell phone vibrating in my pocket, wet, confused, and damn it, I want to do this again tomorrow.
It's too long. It's too long since I read that. You have issues? If that, no. All right. I'm going to walk around because I can't see the scores otherwise. Judges, make sure you write them very large on your board. Or in other words, huge.
Huge.
All right. When you have the score, just lift it up. Don't worry, I don't have an ego for you to bruise. I have small children. Please, if you're a slam poet up here and you still have an ego, you're in trouble.
I got some Eggos I brought.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, from low to high, we have a 5. Ooh. Oh, please feel free to react to the scores, whether you agree or not. It's not going to matter. The judges are going to get whatever the hell they want. But please, feel free to get your aggression out. So we got a 5. We have a 7. We have an 8.
We have an 8.5. We have a 9.3. A point forward, not the score. All right. That gives me 16. That's a 23.5 for length. All right. I need number. You got it. I need number 2, 1, 7. 7. Heads or tails? All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause. First poet in the slam tonight, Jonathan!
This is called Torch Song for Lorena Bobbitt. For kids growing up in the early 90s, John and Lorena Bobbitt were the punchline of many a playground joke, made just out of the earshot of our teachers and bereft of all the knowledge they would one day impart upon us. Lorena Bobbitt played the role of the crazy female, John Bobbitt's name used to describe any man whose actions may get his penis cut off while he slept at night. We weren't old enough to actually watch the news. This is to say, we didn't write our own material, punchlines stolen from dinner table jokes where too often our fathers were the only ones laughing. Fathers who chose the appropriate audience for a joke with the same presence of mind it took them to crack the window a quarter inch before lighting a cigarette. Hey, it was the 90s. And many of us grew up to be our father's sons. Despite expert witness testimony for both the prosecution and defense stating he had mentally and physically battered her and that the abuse was escalating and that by 1993 she was living in constant fear of him, when she was found not guilty, it was due to insanity. As if her desire to live were insane, as if she were making it all up, as a generation of fathers cracked another joke before cracking the window another quarter inch. John Bobbitt was acquitted on marital rape charges. They said there were too many differing accounts of what had occurred. More likely, this was 1993 and marital rape had just become a crime nationwide. Before that, fathers were free to joke. She already said I do when they got married. Light a cigarette, no cracked window, inhale slow, son. These things will make a man out of you. Too many of us grew up to be our father's sons, toxins hanging on our breath. John Bobbitt's penis would be surgically reattached. If you're wondering if it still worked, he would go on to appear in 2 adult films. Lorena Bobbitt was court-ordered to undergo a 45-day psychiatric evaluation. Father tells son joke, lights cigarette, passes torch to son. Son inhales.
Keep it going for Jonathan! All right. Oh, good. Judges, whenever you hold them up, whenever you get your scores, hold them up. All right. So, for Jonathan, from low to high, we have a 5.
Boo! You will not be escorted to your car.
No, you totally will. It's a poetry slam. It's not a life or death situation.
Oh, Jesus, I got 2 of them heckling me. Fuck!
Ha!
I got 2 7s. I got an 8.5 and a 9.5 for Jonathan. Applaud the poet. That's a 25.5 for Jonathan. Jonathan, I need number 1 to 6.
4.
Heads or tails?
Heads.
Ladies and gentlemen, next poet up, please give a round of applause to Aisha.
Woo! Wow. We've all just been using the same.
Just you and me. We've been sharing a comment. Aisha is the co-host of the Goodreads podcast, available where all podcasts are available. Goodreads Better Friends, sorry.
The Wall, a millennial love story. When I tell my friends there is no one out there for me, they convince me that despite everything I've circled on my body, no matter how my skin stretches and contracts like a caterpillar still looking for wings, no matter how my words rip off my tongue and enter other people unwillingly, there is, of course, someone out there who will love me for it. But, like, what if there isn't? I mean, there can't be a human. Sorry, I'm like, feedback. I mean, there can't be a human for every single human. I've stepped into romance before, still getting used to the ghost of it coming up from the ground. The love I've sat with looks a lot like building walls so high that even the builder can't remember how to get over it. I built a wall that should be knocked down because it's not as pretty as the other walls. It can't make you laugh. It never develops socially, so it can't keep you interested. It gets exhausted around other walls, hides behind already built bridges, has no concept of anything with two legs and a back that bends, changes itself to look like other walls, doesn't know romantic love from being punched in the gut. Pretty sure it's the same thing. Don't tell it in the deepest chasms of deserted happiness there's another wall for this one. This wall, connected to a castle of hushed cadences, has no more steel beams to give. If you attempted to fuck this wall, went silent for 7 months, and reappeared as a message in its DMs, it has been deleted. It cannot be soft or effeminate. It cannot be the apparition that haunts you when you think about lips and tongues in the middle of the night. It cannot be the wall that stands beside your high-stretching windows where the sunlight hits midday, perfectly casting rainbows on wooden floorboards in the presence of small feet. It cannot sit still and be anything but limestone, lead-based paint, and graffiti. It cannot be anything but meaty and messy. It will not compromise. It cannot become the aesthetic you pretend you want so when it flirts with you and you flirt back knowing your affections are somewhere more developed and it cuts you off like it cuts everything else off, there are no surprises. It cannot take any more cars crashing directly into the center. No more pictures of exes and almost lovers and friends' engagements and newborn babies crushing on anyone who is nice to it. So I'll ask you to swallow your pity the moment you feel it moving from the acid in your stomach. When I say there is no twin to my flame, I don't mean pity me, I mean accept me. I mean, yes, I am lonely, but I need you to reverse your affirmations to me and just say that is just fine. Thank you.
Keep it going for Aisha! Yes. Had a question earlier. Is the slam cumulative? Yes. It means the points are going to keep going across. So. Also had a question about where you can get COVID vaccinations in the area. Contact your local CVS or pharmacy. They will point you in the right direction. Meyer has walk-ins. I know that Montgomery County is taking anybody 16 and up. Dark County is taking anybody 16 and up. Did they leave? Oh, okay.
I was able to sign up on CVS.com, actually. With CVS, the latest appointment of the day is at 5:15 p.m. I did not check to see when the earliest appointment of the day was when I signed up because I work second shift and I don't like waking up early. Hey, can everybody hear everything okay still? Yep. Awesome.
Cool. Judges, hold the scores up when you got them. You got yours. Okay. All right, from low to high for Aisha, we have a 7.5. We have an 8.5. We got a 9. We got a 9. And we got the year's first 10. Keep it going. That's 26.5 for Aisha. Aisha, need number 1 to 5. Heads or tails? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, next call it up. Please give a round of applause to Stranger Than Before. Woo! Whoa. Sit your ass back there. Sit your ass back down. I fucked up your name. Sit your ass back down. Ladies and gentlemen, with extreme sorrow, I have messed up a poet name. So on 3, you may shame me. 1, 2, 3.
Shame!
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, next call it up. Stronger than before.
She good.
Wrap it up, right? Come on. Yes. Don't forget your rubber. Somebody left theirs.
I'll come.
Aisha, you left your mic condom.
I got it. I got you.
We got sanitizer.
Thank you. Oh, did y'all hear that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, she'll start.
Kind of hot. Not gonna lie, it's kind of hot.
I'm tired of saying their names. Mothers crying from their window panes, wondering if their black child is going to make it home today. So they pray. Notifications on the headlines, on the news reports, just to see their given names and hashtags. People protesting, mass killings during social distancing. We video record our every move just to not get justice, but we always lose. Lose another person from our tribe. We fight every day just to live our lives. We are fed up.
Perfect. All right. Stronger than before. And we are also taking pictures, putting them up on Instagram. Our account is DAyton Poetry Slam on Instagram. If I did not tag you, I am sorry. It's just because I didn't remember your name. Please tag yourself.
Only if you use a better angle.
Exactly. I'm sorry, Colton. All right, judges. I got one. Hold on, I didn't get you in the back. Okay. Can you angle yours a little differently? Or write it really big? Sorry, I must have given you a really bad ink color. I gotta buy new markers. Okay, my kids have sold all my dry markers. Damn you, online education. All right. I say that I'm an online college professor. So from low to high, we have a 6. We have a 7. We have an 8. We got 9.3 to 9.5 for stronger than before. Top poet. 24.5. All right. 1, 2, 4. Can you tell somebody else something? Count the tails. Ladies and gentlemen, next poet up, please give a round of applause to Colton. Keep it going for Colton.
Can I bring a cigarette for a
Yes. As long as it's not a prop and you're just smoking it.
Well, what if I am smoking it?
Then you should stop. They're bad for you. Just kidding.
I know. Where are the gloves?
Oh, right there.
Oh man, I'm gonna try.
Okay. Did you get? I take care of it.
I'm sorry, I dropped some.
That's okay.
They're all watching me struggle, Link.
There you go. You
And
got
we're
it.
on.
All right.
Okay, this is some untitled shit.
Untitled shit.
I'm not a love poet. Poets only write what they know, a writer wrote. The ink-smeared pages scattered around my home smell more of whiskey than they do cologne. Every alcohol tastes like a lover that left me out in the cold alone. I pray to God you let me make your heart my home. I'm not a love poet, but I swear I could write sonnets about your smile. I'd have best-selling books on how breathless your beauty leaves me. I could put Shakespeare to shame when I spill ink on how the warmth in your eyes outlasts any sunset the world has ever seen. I pray to God you'll give them a read. I'm not a love poet. Numbness encompassed me long ago. but that first kiss sent a shock straight to my heart. I broke the surface and caught a breath of fresh air. You rescued me when I was unaware that I was drowning. I pray to God you never let me go back under. I'm not a love poet. My tongue trips on truths too often to recite my heart's inner workings. I swear, when our lips touch, I pour parts of my soul into you. I pray to God you save the pieces as fractals of something much larger, the pictures coming together. I'm not a love poet, but if you pay close attention, my body screams what my heart wants to say. I pray to God you can translate. Thank you.
Where do I put the old one?
I'll just take it with you.
Okay.
You might need it again in your notes.
Maybe.
Hopefully. All right, Colton, give it up. Okay, so we're going. After this round, we go to 4 poets and then 2 poets. One shall stand, one shall fall. 2 will enter, 1 will leave. Picture! That's a far better picture.
It is. I'm just giving you shit.
Oh, okay. Well, don't do that. For Loud High for Colton, we have a 7. 7.5. We have an 8, another 8, and a 9 for Colton the Plug Poet. 23.5 for Colton. Keep it going. Colton, 1 to 4.
3.
Heads or tails? Ladies and gentlemen, your next poet. Please give a huge round of applause to Y. I know him. Motherfucker still got a hoodie on. Goddamn.
It's like jacket weather.
I actually think it's grafted to his skin.
The change?
Yeah, it's a chameleon thing. I mean, somehow you magically
A joke. Something said or done to provoke laughter. Most jokes contain some element of the truth, and now that we're done with explanations, you want to hear a joke. What name do you give a black boy who fits the description? Well, anyone. I got another one. A black boy walks into a bar and a judge is the bartender. The boy orders a drink, but does not get carded. Why? Well, because black boy always old enough for the wrong thing in the eyes of the law. I got one more. A boy with skin painted dangerous walks into a pizza shop. There he's bumped into by a woman whose skin smelled of "how dare you" and pumpkin spice, or just a problem for niggas. His reaction to the obvious blunder on her part was to take responsibility. You know, I'm sorry, my fault. Be less dangerous than watch where you're going. It's always your fault. Thrusted out of her mouth, a broken court system. Before her was a man. Boy wasn't seen. This skin-painted crime yet to be committed. An adult made out of a child by a child masquerading as an adult. I'm calling the police. The battle cry of those not affected by the system. A joke whose punchline too often ends with a flat line. He laughed. As if trained to treat danger as a joke, he laughed. As if the life of a black boy was danger. A joke, something to be laughed at. I guess anyone wearing a black face, something to be laughed at. I don't remember the first time I realized I was black. The first time the skin would be all that defined me. Is this what it means to be both black and man? To be 2 times the danger at half the size? I was 14 when it happened. I finally got the punchline. Me, we, the joke, our reality, TV, modern day minstrel show. I was told to act my age. But what age is appropriate for menace to act? How do I wash off the danger painted on my skin? See, physical comedy is defined as a form of comedy focused on manipulation of the body. Well, black folks been America's punchline for years. The laugh track drowned out by the whip, the dogs, the hoes, the guns, the laughter. So much violent laughter. We all just dying laughing. See, black man, former president, brother, still a nigga. Still more black than human. Black father, still more hindrance than help. Black man, still more primal than civilized. We are all animals. It's just projects, and ghettos, a funny way of spelling zoo, or better yet, circus. A whip used to beat fear into us unruly niggas. I mean animals, I mean human fucking beings, I'm sorry. I've been called danger so long, I started to believe it. But wait, this was supposed to be funny. So, you wanna hear a joke? A black man is found alive.
Give it up for why? Thank you. All right, judges. Everybody got your score? Put it up. Okay. All right, for why? We'll start low. 9. 9.5. And a three-way 10. Shit, that's easy math even for me. 29.5 for why? Plus hope. 1, 2, or 3, why?
Every time. Like, God bless it. Oh,
Don't forget your mic. Don't forget your condom.
Oh. Oh, what's the condom? I don't use those.
Rock!
You're wrapped around my life right now. It's feeling better every second that I count. But don't raise a brow. Sometimes I'm upside down and inside out. Hanging out. Be with me in the lost and found. Is this the one? Picturesque. You're picturesque. Listen.
Jim Rock, our penultimate poet in the first round. Remember, we're going down to 4 poets for the second round, then a head-to-head for the money. See if I got another. That's a 25 point.
As I look at this document in my hand, I can't believe my eyes.
Up here on this desk